So I paused my nomad journey and now I'm living in Colombia. It is so important for kids after high school to take a gap year or few. I knew exactly what was happening. I was like, oh shit, this is part of the prophecy. Because if not, people are going to die. But I'm not stopping travel forever. I'm just taking a bit of a break, not traveling as frequently. I needed a home base because I am working on so many things right now. There's been so many projects and I've been doing so much over the last couple of years, and it's been gaining momentum and so many things are happening at once that it's been too much for me to keep up with while being on the road and constantly moving and not being stable in a way of like, I need to find a new place to sleep every night, or living in the city. I hate living in the city in my car. Like all that kind of stuff that comes with living on the road. And I also don't know if I'll be doing like the van life kind of thing anytime soon. I feel like I'm gonna be more like catching flights and like traveling more internationally and backpacking and stuff. But for now, I am living here. But I did find like my purpose and my passions, who I am, did so much growth, had so many experiences. All of this from living on the road. I would not have had these same experiences, this perspective, these life lessons, and knowing exactly who I am had it not been for life on the road. But I also learned I actually always knew what I wanted to do when I was in high school. I just never had the confidence to actually go for it because of the things that I would get told, how society conditions us. So the things I've always wanted to do is one, do music festivals, do film, and work with the environment somehow. Like be an environmentalism. And I was always told to get like a real job, to stop dreaming that these things weren't gonna work, or they don't make money, or people don't make it in these fields or whatever. Like just so many things to discourage me from actually going for what I wanted to go for. And like travel was one of them too. I've always wanted to do like the kind of hippie stuff when I was younger. But I didn't have anybody to do it with. Like I had people that were like, yeah, I'm down to do a road trip, but then none of them ever followed through with it. So I ended up not going for it until like the time that I did. And that all changed my life. But yeah, like after traveling all this time, I learned over the last couple of years that I always knew what I wanted to do. I just, again, didn't have the confidence to go after it. I feel like it is so important for kids after high school to take a gap year or few to go and explore the world, discover who they are, be by themselves, so that they're not being told by society or family or whoever that they need to be a certain way, that they need to take a certain path, or like people around them to discourage them. I wish someone would have told me that when I was younger and I was in high school, but instead I went to a really academic school that was like, go to college or you're a fucking loser, and that's it. And that was not motivational for me at all. I felt stuck. I went to college, I got my associate's degree. It took me 3 years to get it because I had no motivation whatsoever to actually finish. I started doing it just because it was something to do. I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't get a job at first. So I just went to school, and then when I did get a job, I was prioritizing working over school. I started to fail classes because I just had no interest and I was depressed as fuck. I would just drop out of classes. I would take terms off, so it took me a little longer to finally finish my associates. And when I did, I was just so close to it. And I was like, well, I'm already this close, I might as well just get it. But by that point, I took my first road trip and I was like, oh, I know what I want to do now. And if I would have just went straight into travel like I wanted to after high school, I would have skipped those few years. of wasting my time taking classes I didn't really give a fuck about. Now that I'm older, I wish I would have went to school a little different and took classes that were of topics that I actually cared about, but instead I was taking like what they told me to get a degree, and it was all just a waste of time for me. Like, I didn't use any of that shit. And I have learned so much more from life experience and from talking to people. After following my heart and spirit, I'm where I want to be now. Back in 2020, I started getting more into activism when the whole thing with George Floyd happened. And I felt like I was being pulled in all these different directions. Like, I cared so much about so many things and I didn't know where to direct my energy towards. And then I read this book called How to Make Change by Sean King, and that gave me a new perspective for everything too, for helping me find my direction. Because in the book he said, you're going to spread yourself thin if you try and focus on 5 different issues that you care about. You can't fully give your time to all 5 of these issues. So pick one of these issues that you really care about and then go for that. And when I took that advice, then I went from feeling like I care about so many things and I can't do anything to I'm going this direction and I'm gonna make a difference here. Now, still in the beginning, I still had no idea exactly what I was going to do to make this change, but I started to try and connect with people on TikTok. I've seen someone say that for us to really make a difference, for us to get anywhere, we have to start connecting with each other first. We have to start uniting. And I was like, word, okay, we're gonna make that happen. So I started reaching out to people online and just like posting thoughts and solution-based ideas and stuff about what we can do to make a difference in this world, to change the system that we all hate. So when I started doing that, my shit started blowing up and I was like, okay, we're going somewhere, so I'm gonna run with this. And I created a Discord, and I had so many people, like hundreds of people started to join it at once, and videos were going viral, and I was like, oh shit, I don't know what to do with all of this, but like I see that people are interested, so like I'm going to put my energy towards this and figure it out. So I started building out the Discord and busting my ass. I like started a website and came up with this idea of like a gathering to bring people together, because at the time there was also a general strike, an idea for a general strike, like national strike, for everyone to like take a day off of work. And I was like, I know no one's gonna do that because there's no community support. Like, people need to feed their kids, people gotta pay rent, people gotta feed themselves, like whatever. There's so many reasons why people would not take that off. But I was like, we could start somewhere and we could start building that community so one day we could make a strike like this happen. So I started planning this gathering, and from there things just, it was like a domino effect. Like, things started gaining momentum. I started getting a more clear direction of what I want to do with my life and what my role is and what I could offer this world. There are so many people that really wanted something like this, and I started a movement out of it. It was called the Return to Roots movement, and it was about reconnecting to community, self, spirit, and nature. And I started doing gatherings out of these. They were called Return to Roots gatherings, and I started to build my own tribe, learning how to live in community, because I never had a healthy sense of what community looked like or how to be in it. I think a lot of us have that story, especially like in this society. It is so toxic, even within our families, our friendships, like whatever other communal dynamics we have. We don't know how to live in community. So that was like a big step for us. And when I started doing that, I wanted to reach more people, more diversity, because I've just attracted a lot of hippies. So that I started a conscious hip hop music festival called Soul Awakening. And that was last year. And then that's been bringing even more tribe. It's been so crazy. Like, it's been amazing. And we've been building up this really cool community. And like, this last couple of years I guess it's been 3 years now since I started all of that. It's been, so much has happened. I feel like I've shifted timelines so many times and like just quantum leaped forward, and there has been so much that's been happening that it feels like way more than 3 years. And yeah, I feel like we've made a lot of progress, and I am really happy with like the direction change in my life and where I'm at now, like after asking for exactly what I want and having faith in spirit and following spirit. Yeah, it's just been a journey. And during that time, actually at my first gathering, I met a couple friends, Kelsey and Dion, and I talked to them for like maybe 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes that night. And they were only there for a night. And then I didn't see them again for a few months. I seen them at a rainbow gathering, and we're walking on the same path, and we happened to cross each other's paths. And we talked again for like another 20 minutes, catching up, updates and stuff. We're like, okay, see you later. I got their numbers, so I'm like, well, we'll talk later. I didn't end up talking to them for another few months. And then one day they called me up and was like, hey, we're in Colombia and there's these really big things happening and we're working with the tribe. And we don't know too many details, but we need you here. We need help. And I was like, word. I knew exactly what was going on because I knew a bit about the Hopi prophecy, and through my own reconnection and this journey that I was on, even though they didn't know what was happening, I knew exactly what was happening. I was like, oh shit, this is part of the prophecy. So I went to Colombia last year and I stayed there for like 2 months at the beginning of last year, and then went back to the US to do Soul Awakening. Spent like the whole year doing that. That was fucking crazy. But while I was in Colombia, that experience, it was just so surreal. It was like a movie. There's so much that happened during that time, like just learning about this mission, the projects, just getting deeper into like the history of the people here, and still didn't even like make a dent in anything. It was a life-changing experience at the end of it. We took the Mamos on a trip to go collect some sacred materials in their ancestral lands. And during that time, they did like this cleansing on us. And they did it over 3 days. They cleansed us of all the negativity from our past, present, and future. And on the last day, when they did that, I felt like a crazy timeline switch. Like the feeling of it, I felt like I was living in a prequel before, if that makes sense, and like now I'm in the main part of the movie. Like I felt all the doubts and the negativity just dissolve, and I was like, wow, like there's so many things possible, and like we're really gonna get all this shit. Like we're really gonna achieve everything that we're working for. Yeah, so that was a trip for me. That everything just feels so much more achievable, and like I just have so much faith in everything now, where I don't doubt the direction that we're going. Like we are going to make all of these things happen. So fast forward a year later, I already had Soul Awakening, and then I had to go to Mexico to integrate and chill and heal from doing Soul Awakening, because that was fucking crazy. I was hustling the whole time. I was not sleeping. I was not taking care of myself. I was just hella in my masculine, and I just felt so unbalanced. It was so stressful. So when it was finally done, I was so happy, and it was really hard for me to even look at the photos or the videos of Soul Awakening after. I just like was done. I'm like, okay, I'm chilling, but I wasn't. I was still working, and I had to pay off stuff. I had debt and stuff from the festival and owed money. So yeah, a few months later, I had to go to Mexico, went out for a couple months. That was amazing. Mexico is a whole story on its own. I'm gonna make another video about that. Just wanted to going through the timeline of what's happened over the last couple of years. So after I got back from Mexico, I got ready to do a Soul Awakening camp out. This actually right before I came to Colombia this time we had like a little gathering, like Return to Roots style kind of gathering for Soul Awakening because I didn't have any funding. But people still wanted to have Soul Awakening. They like kept asking me like, when are we gonna have it? They're really wanting it this year. So we put together a little something, and of course ended up having more Dope Tribe come out. It was really cute, it was really small, but it was exactly like what I was envisioning for like the long term of Soul Awakening, like that feeling, the vibe, the love, the tribe. It was dope. Because like last year we had like a big production, and this year we didn't have a full production. Like we had some speakers, but like the artists that came out just came out out of love, like just for connecting with the community, building community, sharing. And yeah, it was exactly what we all wanted, and we all left feeling so full. And it was, for me, the complete opposite of last year. I felt so drained for like months. It took me like 5 months, I think, to like decompress and to feel okay again after Soul Awakening last year. It was insane. And it was a really good send-off for leaving the US, saying goodbye to all my people, and coming back to Colombia. So what I'm doing here in Colombia, I'm working with this tribe. They're called the Arhuacos or Iku. We're trying to help them get their land back. But then it's a lot more than that too. It's regenerating the land, saving the world type shit. We're on the heart of the world, which is connected, of course, to the rest of the world because the earth is a living being. And we're trying to get people to see that because they don't for some reason. It is connected to so many other issues, like how we treat the feminine, what's going on in the world. Like people don't see how everything is connected, and that's something I'm going to try and explain better in different videos and like show videos of them talking and stuff too. But yeah, we're really just trying to heal the world, heal the people, and show people how to live in more regenerative ways and not degenerative ways. Like we all really need to learn that if we want to survive as a species. Because if not, people are going to die. And people are going to die anyways because we've already done so much damage to this planet, and it's now starting to catch up with us. That yeah, people are going to be starving, and there's going to be a lot of natural disasters happening. I mean, it's already started, and people are really going to see that none of this shit was a joke. It was never just hippie bullshit or whatever. Like this shit is actually happening. So that's what I'm here to help with, to help spread these messages and to help build out the structures, because something that I learned about doing the gatherings, the community building, the music festival and stuff, is that I'm really good at building structures and doing logistical shit. So I'm gonna be helping with that, helping with team building, communication, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I feel like this video has probably already gone on for a while. This is just supposed to be like a brief recap over the last few years, but there's been so much that's happened over the last few years, especially the last 2 years. It's crazy, the last year and a half even. So yeah, that was a lot to fit into one video, and I'll go deeper into like all the different things and projects and stuff. This is just a little summary. And even though I'm not like doing the van life anymore, I still kind of want to share some stories. And I originally started this because I wanted to show people that it is very possible to travel and not be rich, because I've been doing it for years. I don't have a lot of money. I'm just resourceful and know how to figure shit out, and I wanted to show people that they could do the same. I'm all about empowering people and teaching people just based off of my experiences. So I'm gonna keep doing that, especially now on the topic of like moving to another country, and like I'll be doing some backpacking and stuff still, whatever. So yeah, more international travel, because I know people are interested in that too. But yeah, we're gonna cut it here. I'm gonna put some links so you guys could figure out what exactly is going on. I'll of course go more into it in different videos. I'll also post some links for support if anyone's down to help support these missions once you guys get some more info on what's going on. But yes, as always, thank you for tuning in, and of course, Supporting the channel is the easiest way to support me and these missions, projects, everything that is going on, helping get the word out there so that we can reach the right people that need to hear these things and that can help in other ways. So thank you guys, have a great week, and don't forget to tune in next time.
What up, Johnson?